It's a very good question. I was kind of not happy with the fact that I didn't seem in control of my accounts. A common man has very simple, common dreams. The dignity of a common man in India is the most important thing for him. Try to interfere with his common requirement, he's going to bring down an empire.
You're looking very cool. I love your locket.
So thank you very much. How kind of you. So are you.
Oh, that's kind of you. Welcome to Spotlight on Connected to India. I'm absolutely thrilled to introduce on Spotlight one of the coolest actors of our generation, who is talking to us about his film Hisaab Barabar, which will be launched exclusively on ZEE5 Global on the 24th of January, which is a Friday. R Madhavan, thrilled to speak to you. Welcome to Spotlight.
You're very kind. Thank you for that very sweet introduction. And I'm thrilled to be here myself.
I'm going to pretend that you knew about Connected to India and you absolutely insisted that we have to be in your roster of interviews because I'm so happy to speak to you.
Yeah, it is absolutely true.
And well, congratulations to you for your son's incredible 5 goals in neighboring Malaysia at the Malaysia Open.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, about a year and a half ago, but I'm very thrilled about it.
Yes. He's got the genes where the dad was bus cadet NCC and then trained with the British Army, the Royal Air Force, etc. So it's clearly the genes showing up.
Well, thank you for doing the research. I'm very flattered.
I saw the film thanks to ZEE5 Global. Absolutely loved it. It's an unimaginable plot. Okay. So my first question, are you going to be opening the Pandora's box on 24th of Jan? Are a lot of account holders going to get ideas?
Well, I hope they get cautious. As you've seen the film, you realize that, in our days, we get messages from our bank saying this much of money has been added to your account as interest or such has been taken away as fine. And, for me, it's a very unnerving feeling that somebody has access to my account and can take or drop money in without my permission. Apparently, I've signed that when I signed the forms for opening the account. But, they say a fool and his money are soon separated.
Yeah.
And the most successful and the richest men in the world personally take care of their own accounts. So these two things, I think, will come to the forefront when people see the movie. And they'll have to learn to go to different levels of cautiousness as far as handling their money is concerned. So definitely a Pandora's box.
That's very interesting. It's sort of connected. It happens towards the end of the movie. I don't want to give too much away, but it does start with how zero balance account was the bait which was thrown to a lot of people. Also, the category of people who work super hard don't have the time to go through every single line in the statement. Like you said, it's the super rich who take care of it. So it'll be interesting to see the reaction. My reaction is that I was amazed. I did not imagine the plot to be as it panned out. What attracted you to this film, Madhavan? You've got such a wide variety. You did Shaitan and now you did like Such a Lovely Man.
Yeah, so I was just going to say that I used to get the same messages. And then I was kind of not happy with the fact that I didn't seem in control of my account. So when the story came to me, I realized the potential of it because there are two things to it. One is the accounting aspect of it and the scams that go with it. And secondly, a common man has very simple, common dreams. He wants to, work hard, get a family, get the daughters and the son educated, make sure the daughter gets married and is settled in a happy family. The son has got a great profession, hopefully the father's profession. And the man can retire and do his, religious stuff and live a happy, dignified life. That's all that man wants. But when you start interfering with those basic requirements of a middle-class citizen and the common man, they have actually been known to overthrow great dynasties, right? From Rome to France to Russia to you name it. The common man's life, as long as it's not affected by the atrocities of the rich, they're okay with it. The moment it affects them, they have the power to overthrow them. And that is what was very intriguing about this story for me. And that's why I accepted it.
You're attracted. Well, the film had premiered at the International Film Festival in Goa, if I'm correct, some last year. What kind of reactions did you get from the audiences who saw it for the first time?
Very amazing. I was very keen to see how they will react to what to me sounded slightly technical, but they were all gung-ho about it and very, very heartwarming to see their reactions.
Okay. Well, your chemistry with Kirti Kulhari, even though this is not a romantic film, was beautiful.
Thank you.
I would ask a question. Who gets the credit? When there is a great chemistry, is it the actors or the director? How does it happen?
Without doubt, the director. The actor's job is to just enact the vision of the director. And when you're doing an age-appropriate romance, which is not the same romance as you do when you're, young and falling in love for the first time.
Like RHTDM.
Yes, like R.S. Stadium was love at first time and younger age and everything. But here, this is far more mature. And I think the rewards of falling in love when you're that old are very different, and the perks you look for are very different. And that was beautifully handled by the director.
And it was great to see Neil Nitin Mukesh as well. I think he
Yes.
did an incredible job. I absolutely loved the scene when he bullies you on the street towards the end of the film. Tell us a bit about that particular shot. How much time did you take to do it? It looked phenomenal.
Thank you. That was the director's favorite scene. And I remember, being nervous about it because it was supposed to be a showdown in public.
Yeah.
And in Bombay, there were about 500 odd people watching the scene as we were doing it. And most importantly, the dialogues were all being yelled out. It was not a quiet scene. So they were following what was being said, and they were all either agreeing or not agreeing, or doing their own calculations and showing each other the bank messages. It was amazing to see how they got involved with the content of the shoot rather than the shoot itself.
Interesting. And well, my one of my favorite scenes was your introduction scene where you're running in a very ungainly fashion, balancing those 10 oranges. We know exactly how many oranges were there. What was one of your favorite scenes in the film?
I think for me, the climax, and a scene where I explained the workings of the bank on a board, on a fuse board in a mall.
Yeah.
All that, was was challenging, and was one of my fondest scenes and favorite scenes.
And I'm just going to change gears and I want to go to Rehna Hai Tere Dil Mein, which was
Mm,
released and to
mm.
phenomenal acclaim one more time. So congratulations on that. I want to ask you if you were to pick up like three films from the last decade, which you think will be received really well, which one would those be?
Rocketry, for sure. Vikram Veda, the Tamil version.
Okay.
Of mine, you're saying, or overall?
Overall.
Oh, overall. I really liked Maharaja. I thought that was mind blowing.
Mhm.
I think Munja did well, Munja. And Pushpa, of course, that's for everybody to see.
Fantastic. And looking back at on your career, how do projects like Hisaab Barabar, shape your legacy as an actor? Is it important enough film for it to be a part of, put in that bracket of you being judged as and your legacy?
It's a very good question. When we do a film, very well, I'm aware of the reasons I'm doing a film.
Mm.
It's very easy to repeat one shaitan after the other after the other.
Yeah.
But I've always believed in going for stories that depict the heroism of a common man, be it Rocketry or Tanduaj Manu or even Hisab Barabar. And I find a lot of relatability in that. If you're able to, catch the fancy of the common man with that content, like Rehna Hai Tere Dil Mein, for instance, then the repercussions of that appreciation is very long lived. And I think that is the only measure. Sometimes people are quick to pass judgment on a movie of mine before the release and during the release and after the release, right after. But more often than not, if my intent has been correct, it turns out to be quite victorious in the long run.
Yeah, that's a great answer. You already explained what you attracted you to Hisab Barabar, but if you could put it in one sentence, what is it that people can take away from Hisab Barabar, and why should they be watching on January 24th?
The dignity of a common man in India is the most important thing for him. And you try to play with that or try to interfere with his common requirement, he's going to bring down an empire.
Yeah, but Madhavan, if you look at in the actual context, and that does the common one actually have that much power? Because the other side of the system, which is also shown to be extremely powerful in the film, also, and so how far do you think is it actually possible for the common man to pick up a fight the way you did, as your protagonist did?
History is testimony to the fact that when you do this to a common man, they can bring down Rome. They did. They bring down the French Revolution. They did it. When they feel it hit hard enough, slowly they can drive out the Britishers without violence. It's the common man who does it. It's not big armies. Similarly, in India, if you see a young kid from a small town swimming in ponds and lakes make it to an international competition and win medals for India, then the then his heroism is one thing, but the amount of sacrifices made by those parents and with very meager earnings is a hugely heroic effort. When a young kid who's studying by the roadside, who's a tea, shop owner's kid, makes it to IAS, it's the entire family that's a hero, and they're able to break the system with so many coaching classes and so many amount of money spent in memorizing. These kids don't have all that, but despite all odds, they do make it. So I do believe that that sort of heroism and the effectiveness of their conviction is capable of moving mountains.
Well, Madhavan, thank you very much for speaking to us. Wishing you good luck with Hisaab Barabar and a phenomenal 2025.
You're very kind, brother. Thank you so much, and I'll see you much sooner than later.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
If you enjoyed the interview, please press the like button, share it ahead, and definitely subscribe to Connected to India's YouTube channel. Ask your friends too. We are trying to get to 100,000 by the end of next month. Help us in that.